Hello everyone. Welcome to the Dynamics of the Human Energy Field series. My name is Nancy Rebecca. I'm a registered nurse and a full-time psychic healer and teacher. And this particular video is going to be about the root chakra. And it's pretty timely that I would be recording this video now, even though I scheduled this particular video to be made and the outline for this video. I scheduled it 6 months ago, and now we are in a pandemic crisis of the coronavirus, and that was just kind of released yesterday, that it was officially made a pandemic. I happen to live in Washington State, which is what they are kind of calling the epicenter of the corona outbreak. We've had lots of people exposed, and it's doubling every day, the numbers. And, people are getting, from mild to no symptoms at all to, of course, some life-threatening symptoms for those who are at higher risk. So I'm right kind of in the middle of the panic and of the fear and anxiety. And I'm not just talking about a little bit of fear, a little bit of panic or anxiety. I'm talking about over the top fear. And even though I've been meditating for over 2 decades, I know how to keep myself well grounded, I know how to keep myself centered and pretty neutral, it does not kind of block me or negate those energies that are coming in, that fear energy from my own community that I'm in. And it feels like a battering of my aura. It just feels like boom, 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 boom. So I'm feeling that fear constantly hitting my aura. And if I'm feeling this, I know you're all feeling it as well. And even if you're trying to remain calm, when you're really kind of bathed and saturated in that fear, in the not just the community, but the whole world is in fear right now. That's why they call it a pandemic, because it is impacting the entire world. So let me talk a little bit about the root chakra, because the root chakra is the video that I'm making today, and it's really at the heart of what's going on in relationship to how you're able to manage and handle your fear. So so let's start there. So the root chakra is located between the hips. It's located in the pelvic area. It's called the first chakra. So chakra is a Hindu word that means spinning wheel. So it's called the first chakra, or it's also known as the root chakra because it's in the kind of the root of our body. But it's also known as the survival chakra. So let me explain a little bit more about what I mean by that. Your survival, each chakra is a spiritual library, and over the next 7 weeks, I'm going to be producing a blog and a video related to each chakra. But we're starting with chakra number 1. So to me, the way I explain it to my clients and my students, it's like a library, and it's like you're sitting at home and you're like, I want to get some information about how to survive the winter storms. And so you hop in your car, you drive to the library, you walk in, you ask the librarian, can you show me in the section where how do you survive through winter is? The librarian takes you to that bookshelf, and then you peruse the books that you want, then you pull the 1 or 2 books that you want, and then you go back up to the desk, you check out the book so that you can go home and read more in depth about what you need to do to survive a harsh winter. Well, our root chakra is like a spiritual library. Your spirit comes down, it goes into your root chakra to see how you have survived in the past. But I'm not just talking about in this lifetime, the past. You've had many, many, many lifetimes. Now, you may not believe that you've had many lifetimes, but just kind of go with me for the sake of this video. So in past lives, you've had to learn how to survive. You've had to learn how to survive hard winters, natural disasters without having any pre-warning system. You've had maybe you experienced maybe genocide, or maybe persecution, or maybe you lived through a pandemic before of an illness that was spreading quite quickly, like the chicken pox. So your how you survived that and the steps that you took to survive that, that goes with you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. So your root chakra is filled with information how to survive. But let's talk about your ancestors. So you have not only your maternal line, your mother's ancestral line, and your father's ancestral line. And then when you were created by your parents, you were what you brought with you was the DNA and the genetics from those ancestral lines. And there's enough studies out there now that you can look up on the internet where they talk about how even survival, things like survival or trauma in your ancestral line, can be passed down from generation to generation. So you already have that coded into your DNA genetic system about how to survive, because you draw upon the information that you received from your maternal and paternal line, your grandparents and great-grandparents and so on. Since the beginning of time, you have all that information. And then you've lived in this life, and maybe in this life it was beautiful and nice, and you didn't really need to create coping mechanisms for something so extensive as a coronavirus outbreak that's impacting the whole world. And so maybe that's just really causing you a lot of stress because you don't feel like you know what to do. Or maybe you had you grew up and you had a challenging childhood, and from a very early age you knew how to cope, and so you've got really strong coping skills, so maybe you don't feel as much fear. The other thing that I notice with some people, if they had a lot of trauma in the past, that energetically there's lines that go between all of the chakras. So sometimes it can actually get cut or damage, those lines from the root chakra going up, so you're disconnected. And I'm actually seeing some of that now when I'm talking to people and they're like, I feel nothing. I don't feel fear. I don't feel anything. I feel fine about the coronavirus. And yet I can palpably feel the fear in their aura. So I can feel their fear, but they can't feel their own fear. So that can be a pretty strong indicator that there's an energetic block between the first and the second chakra that's disallowing the messages from the body, trying to tell you that it's feeling fearful, or it's feeling like it might die, or that its health is at risk. And so you may not be getting those messages from your own root chakra if you have something that's blocking that root chakra from sending you those messages. So so it's a library. Your spirit tunes into your root chakra. It pulls the books off the shelf that it needs to pull off. And then it sends you that information through impressions, through knowingness, through intuition, or maybe even psychic ability, which I consider much more precise, that you're getting information from your spirit about how to survive. So your spirit may literally tell you, take more vitamin C. Your spirit might tell you to get more rest, drink more fluids, stay out of contact with other people. And so, so that information can come through based on what your spirit's gathering from your own root chakra. And your survival information is going to be different than mine. That's why one system does not fit all. I may need to do some extra steps for me based on my history of past lives and my ancestral history plus this life's history, that's going to help guide me, help me to navigate how to survive. And then your history may be very different. So that's why I make these videos, to help you to be a little bit more independent in your ability to tap in and get your own information, not just follow somebody else's information that might not be right for you. So in the root chakra, your root chakra, all the chakras, when I see them as a clairvoyant, just on average, they're about 6 inches across in diameter. They're a circle. It's like a little fan with petals, like a little clip-on window fan. You turn on low, medium, high, and it spins. And when it spins, it provides fresh, healthy energy to your pelvis, to your hips, to your legs, to your bones, your skin, your muscles, your connective tissue. So it really feeds a lot of energy there, but it also helps you to ground. It draws on the earth energy to help you feel more settled. And that earth energy helps to calm that root chakra down. So on average, our root chakra will be about 2 to 3 inches across. So that means when it's that relaxed, that means that either the library doors are almost closed, or maybe you just need to check out just one book. Now, if you throw the library doors wide open and you go rushing in and it's like, I need to survive, I need to survive, I need to survive. I live in a state where we have volcanoes. It's like, there's a volcano erupting, what kind of information do I need? Or there's a tsunami coming, or we have a lot of earthquakes here, or a threat of the big one always comes to Washington State as well. And then, of course, we have Washington State at the epicenter of the coronavirus in the United States. So what happens is those doors open so your spirit can get a lot of information about how to help you to survive. And that's what I'm noticing is happening right now on our planet. Many people's root chakra is wide open as their body and their spirit is trying to rapidly discern how to survive and make choices in life around their survival. But this is what happens. When your root chakra is nice and calm and closed down, about 2-3 inches across, you're really drawing more information from your spirit, from your soul. As the root chakra starts to open, the more it opens, it's signaling run, 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 run. The bigger it gets, it's like run for your life. When you need to run, like out of a burning building, or maybe you were in a car crash and the car's about ready to catch fire and you need to have enough energy to run away from the car, or maybe there is an earthquake, you need to run out of the house, it's going to fly open so that the adrenals kick in and your cortisol levels surge so you can have all the energy that you need to run for your life. However, if you're sitting at home, you don't have to go anywhere. You can work from home. Your children are out of school. Everybody's safe. But that root chakra is signaling run for your life. It's going to be difficult for you to be able to sit and relax. It's going to be difficult for you to sleep. It's really going to be difficult to focus and have a rational thought. And so I see this a lot, like with combat soldiers. I talk a little bit about that in the blog that I wrote to go along with this video about combat soldiers who are in Iraq or in Afghanistan. That root chakra of theirs is going to be wide open because they're being shot at, or bombs are going off, or there's the potential for bombs. They always have to be on that hyper vigilant, high alert status. They need that root chakra to be wide open, like just scanning their entire environment, scanning, trying to look for danger, look for danger, look for danger. And then they come home and they just want to sit and watch a movie and eat popcorn with their family, but that root chakra is still highly activated, looking for danger, looking for danger, looking for danger. And then a firework goes off, or somebody yells, or a car backfires, and then all that stuff gets triggered from the root chakra that their life is in danger, and that's that post-traumatic stress syndrome. So what needs to happen is the root chakra needs to be calmed down. You need to be able to close down the root chakra. So ideally, you want your root chakra if you kind of checked in with yourself right now on a scale from 0 to 100%, what's kind of that first number that would come up for you to indicate how open your root chakra is? So ideally, you want it to be less than 40% if there is no danger. Now, of course, if there is danger, then 80, 90, 100% is going to serve you well. But let's say right now you're pretty safe, there's no danger. You want to dial it down, and you can just set your intention to close your root down to less than 40, 30%, maybe even 20%. And then you want to ground yourself really strongly. So it's much easier to ground yourself when your root chakra is dialed down to a more comfortable number. And then bringing up earth energy up through your legs into your pelvis, back down your grounding, will help soothe and calm your root chakra. It'll help release some of those old triggers. It'll help you to release the stress, the fear, the anxiety. So you really need to get that root chakra clear. Now, and that we're living in different times. Everyone will tell you this. I mean, this has not happened in our lifetime. And this pandemic of the coronavirus. And so even if you can get your system calmed down, you're still going to be able to pick up the fear of others around you. So you just want to be aware, is this my fear? Do I have a valid reason to be afraid right now? Or is this outside fear that I'm picking up? Now, physically, one of the things that you can do to help blow off some energy out of the root chakra is that go for a walk. Go exercise. If you're isolating yourself in your house, exercise in your house. Put on some yoga videos. You can do all kinds of exercises at home that don't require equipment. The other thing is doing things like washing dishes, doing laundry, doing physical things. With your body physically busy, it starts to calm down. For me, I like to bake when I'm feeling stressed, or, making breads or baking pies, or cooking food. So whatever you can think of, doing a puzzle can be helpful. So doing something physical will help calm that root down because you're involving the body. So when the root chakra is closed down, you are not drawing from the adrenals and cortisol, you're drawing from your own spiritual energy called the divine energy. When your root chakra opens, it activates the adrenals, surges the cortisol, and cortisol is like steroids. So it's like this cortisol surging through your body. It can cause you to shake. It could cause you to feel panicky. You do feel like you're going to die, or you feel like you just need to run out the front door and run down the sidewalk. I mean, you just literally feel like you have to run, like something's wrong, something's wrong. And so again, to calm that down, you want to ground yourself. You want to bring up more earth energy. And as that earth energy comes through the pelvis and back down the grounding, you just keep repeating that over and over and over again. Intending that chakra close down. So the root chakra provides more information than just about fear. I mean, I'm talking a lot about fear because of the coronavirus, but it also is about money and abundance. It's also about relationship to your own body, relationship to your partner, your spouse, relationship to your kids or your extended family. It's about relating to your community, the survival of your community. So it's all about all sorts of different things in this root chakra that provide information for you to be able to navigate life. So I want to talk about, from a nursing perspective, bodies are really incredible. And when I worked as a critical care nurse, I was pretty amazed sometimes about what someone could go through and still survive it at the physical level. That's one of the things I really learned as a nurse, that our bodies are extremely resilient, and our bodies will shift and adjust the chemical balance, the hormonal balance, It'll send fluid to a part of the body. It'll send white cells. It just really does what it needs to do to battle where the imbalance of illness is and help bring it into balance for your physical body to survive. The other thing is your spirit, for the most part, wants you to survive. And so your spirit, when you're engaged with your spirit, it's going to help you make those life choices with that ancient wisdom to make the choices you need to make to survive. And so to be able to access your spirit, there's really no way around it when you are beginning to cultivate that, and that is to meditate. So in the blog, I am going to include a link to a meditation that you can listen to just help calm your root, and just do this 15-minute meditation every day and just see if you can talk to your higher self and get that higher source of knowledge and wisdom. Like my spirit keeps telling me, even though my body's afraid or can feel the fear of others, it says you're going to be fine. You're not going to get the virus. You're not going to be exposed. However, my spirit says take the steps to minimize public exposure. So I took a lot of those steps yesterday and canceled classes and rescheduled them and things like that. And so, yeah, it's time to take our head out of the sand if we've been feeling a little kind of cavalier about what's going on, or we think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. That might be a coping mechanism. Or maybe we just haven't felt knowledgeable enough, or it's like, oh, I'm kind of caught off guard with this news about a pandemic. And so just, again, you want to try to stay calm. You want to stay grounded. You want to keep your stress level down, because when your stress level goes up, your immune system weakens. So you want a strong immune system. So that's why we're doing all of this. So I hope you found this information helpful. You can read more in my blog as well. I will include that link here. Every week I'm releasing a new video under the series Dynamics of the Human Energy Field, and next week I will be releasing the one about the second chakra, about the body energies. So if you would like to be notified when I've uploaded another video, please click the subscribe button, and then there's a little bell there that I just learned about the last couple of weeks. My learning curve's been quite steep here. When you click the bell, then it will personally send you an email to let you know when another video has been uploaded. I would love to hear from you and your experience, what you're experiencing with fear, what you noticed your root chakra percentages were, and were you able to kind of calm that down with some earth energy? I would love to hear your stories, because then I take those stories and then I'm able to share that with more people. What you have found helpful will be really helpful for other people, because after all, we are in a very different time in our life, and it's time for us to work together for the greatest health of the entire world. And I'm glad you're in this world with us. All right, thanks everyone.